Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. This is a different video that I used to upload to my channel because I usually do no commentary demo gameplays. That's what the available time currently allows me to do. So this is a little bit different, but at the same time I feel it was necessary. So I made a Discord surprise. Spoiler was in the title. It's called No Clue. That's me. I have absolutely no clue. So I spent almost the whole 2025 thinking about how I could include Discord onto my socials, but I didn't really find a way. I never found a way until I did, because you know now the end of the story. I didn't want to make a space that revolves around me. I never found a reason to make a Discord because I don't think that making a space that revolves around me would be the most interesting thing. Initially made this video thinking about the current members so that they know why I made it and what my position towards the Discord is. But then I thought that maybe this could help someone else that it's not a member. Maybe by watching the video they decide to become a member, or maybe they are inspired by what I have to say and they can apply that to their own community and create another Discord which is totally unrelated to video games or puzzles. And so I decided to make this video public instead of unlisted, which is kind of a private video. And so this video is going to be divided into 3 parts, and you probably can find the chapters in the playbar on YouTube. First part is what I call the problems, and that's really the reasons that led me to create or making the Discord. Second part is the solutions, so what is it that I did to solve those problems, and that's making the Discord and how I made it. And the third part is the result, and I'll show you everything that I'll be explaining in part 1 and 2. I'll be showing you what it ended up becoming. At the same time, I can tell you that this video is going to be outdated very quick, very fast, because this community is growing fast. They are very hungry. They are proposing a lot of things, and it's been 2 weeks, 2.5 already. The state that this Discord server is right now is very different to how it was when it started, and I can tell you now it will be very different in next week, let alone next month or 2. So without further ado, let me start with the problems. The problems, I have many, and so many that I can share. So I'm a streamer and content creator, and I've been doing this for 2 years now. This is 2026, my 3rd year. And I have a workflow for how to make the work that I make the easiest and that it takes the shortest amount of time. And in this workflow, which has different stages, I've been for these 2 years encountering some issues, some things that I don't like, some things that they could be better, and somehow the solution for all these issues that I'll be mentioning in a second, they have been solved by making this Discord. So let me tell you about some of these problems. I am a puzzle video games content creator, so I make videos about puzzle games. And to do that, I need to play a game. I need the games. So one way to get access to these games is by directly contacting the developer, which is not always possible. And one way to access the games is by using these key websites. They advertise themselves as a link between the developer and the content creator, and they ensure that the streamer or content creator gets access to the game while ensuring the developer that the content creator or streamer produces such video content. And this is a middle management that it started working for me, and I've used different websites that I'll show you. They worked at some point until they stopped working. I'm not really sure why. They changed the criteria for accessing. I really don't know, and at this point I don't think I even need to know. These are sites like Lurkit, Keymailer, Press Engine probably is the most acceptable terminals, for example, they are a service that it might work for variety streamers or for big streamers. But in the puzzle video games community in general, we don't have a massive following or audience. We are rather small. So these sites, they don't consider the puzzle video game content creator needs. They have some requirements that they don't work for us. And certainly they didn't work for me. This is one of the problems that I encountered. I stopped receiving key offers or game keys for games. And so I had to find a solution. And the alternative, which is what I was trying to avoid, is having to reach out to each individual developer. Lucky for me, by the time that these websites they stopped working, people started to notice me. So instead of me having to reach out to each developer, they started doing the opposite. They started reaching out to me. So I no longer had to use these websites. That's lucky for me, but it's probably not working for everyone. Maybe you are starting as a video game content creator. You won't have now, because they changed the criteria, access to these websites. So you are going to need a way to get access to the games, but you don't have a name. So this is my experience, and I don't know what I do today if I didn't have access to these websites. At the same time, I am not someone known in the puzzle video game community, so I don't know how I would access the games, because having to buy every single game that I play on stream for 1.5 hours each, it's certainly not viable economically for me. So this is a problem that I had, but I think it's a problem that someone else might be having right now. So I'll leave it here for now, and then I'll tell you what I did, how I tried to find a solution for this issue. So issue number 2, I've been using Blue Sky almost since the beginning, when you have to be invited to be able to use it. And in time they made something that it's called a starter pack, which is a nice idea. You can add accounts you can basically make a list or a group. It's like a theme group. These people have something in common, and if you are interested in that something, you can follow them all at once, or you can go through the list and pick some of them. But it's a nice idea if you are starting. That's why it's called starter pack. For example, in the puzzle video game community, and you want to follow some nice creators, I made a starter pack with the streamers and video content creators that I knew, and so I made it easier for the people who are starting. But in doing so, I was leaving out those that I know, but that they are not on Blue Sky. There are more streamers and content creators that I know that they are not on Blue Sky. So then I thought, oh, maybe I can do a list, because Blue Sky also has an option to make a list. For some time I left it there, and I didn't really realize that making lists on Blue Sky is not what I thought it was. Making lists is only for the user, visible for the user who makes the list. So people who I want to keep an eye on, and then you make a list, but it's only visible for you. As far as I know, I don't know if you can make it public, but it's not a list like I can name people who are not on Blue Sky. And this turned into, oh, then I need to find a solution to this problem, because I want to promote and shout out all the creators that are in this community, the puzzle video games community, because it's on my interest that the community grows and that the puzzle video game players grows. We have more people playing games, and we have more people interested in watching others play puzzle games. So this is the idea behind it, and I couldn't. These lists on Blue Sky didn't work like I was thinking it would. So again, I had to find a solution. I wanted to promote these other creators who are not on Blue Sky. They are maybe they are only on YouTube, or maybe they are only on Twitch. Again, I'll leave that there, and I'll mention it on part 2. You'll see what I did to solve that problem. And these are all the main issues that led me to create the Discord. I have a list of other smaller issues but I will not be mentioning because they are less significant in the reasons of why I ended up making the Discord. They also account, but they have a little less impact, to put it that way. So the third reason is that during last year I spent a lot of time helping developers in the way of playtesting, giving advice, doing consultations. It took a lot of time. One of the ways that I had to help them is by giving them some directions, because I knew some places where they could go and have a better result than coming to me. Places like Thinky Games or the Steam group Puzzle Lovers. I was surprised that these people were reaching out to me and they didn't know about these other places where they could have better results. There are more people watching those places and they have a much bigger audience than what they could get by going through me. So I was telling them, you might go here and there and do this. And I was surprised that many times, more than I would have thought it would be the case, they didn't know about these places. So I started compiling a list of resources, but it was very time consuming. Every time a developer came to me asking me to play their game and maybe record a video or play it on stream, and they were offering me, as I said before, a key for the game. It was taking me too long to write all of these explanations, all of these lists of resources that they could do. So I ended up realizing that I needed kind of like a website where I could dump over there my list of resources and everything that I knew and everything that I've learned over these 2 years of streaming, which is not really much. And so I ended up realizing what I needed wasn't a website, it was a place where I could gather people and have them meet, where I could get developers and streamers and content creators, and finally players who are interested in the games, who are interested in watching streamers, and streamers who need game keys to make content from, and an audience to show it to. And so it becomes like a circle that it goes both ways, because everyone is interested in everyone else. And this is how I ended up making a Discord. I have a list of other smaller issues, but I'm not mentioning because they have a little less impact in the why I realized that what I needed in the end was to make a Discord. Is actually not to make a Discord, it's to make a community. It doesn't matter if it's Discord or if it's called something else. It's the actual community, not the software, really what matters. Things like, for example, when I go to Steam and I look for demos and I reduce the search by puzzle genre, what I get, they are not puzzle games. They are games that have puzzles, which is not the same. So you see, all these issues, I think they can be solved by creating this community. I had some problems in searching for the solution. I found that I was solving problems that they might not be for me. They might be problems that someone else are having, namely developers, creators, and players, at least for now. And with this stage set, let me go to part 2, which is the solutions. Now, knowing this, in this situation with all these things / issues that I had in my workflow, some little problems that I wanted a solution for, I ended up realizing that it would be a good idea to make a Discord, a place where I could unite all 3 parts of this community: developers, creators, and players, and make them connect so that they don't need middle managers or websites to deal with game keys, and the developers, they can better promote their games to the player base without using weird system of tags, and a place where I could share my list of resources, but it's not just me, it's everyone else's. So this is part 2, the solutions. This is what I did to solve these little problems. And let me show you, this is the way I see the community working and the advantages that initially, because as I said, this is evolving very rapidly. Initially, how I saw each of the parts of this community communicating with each other. And for that, I'll move myself to the side and I'll show you this nice little graphic. So as mentioned, I think of this community, I won't say Discord now, I'll say community because that's what actually this is. It is a community regardless of the software that's behind it. This community is made, in my mind, by three collectives. First, we have the developers, and then we have, as mentioned, the streamers and content creators, or creators for sure. And finally, the players. So developers are the ones that obviously make the games. Streamers are the ones that promote the game. In the older days, games used to be sold through physical paper magazines until they were replaced by websites, dedicated websites, until they were replaced at the same time by these streamers and content creators, who seem to be the preferred way for the general public to get to know the games. And finally, the players, those who are going to consume those games made by the developers and that content produced by the streamers and creators about those games. So now I'll be explaining how each of these collectives, they interact or connect within this community. That's the way I see it. Let me start with the relation between the developers and the streamers and content creators. Why do I think this communication or relation it's going to work within the community? So for start, from the point of view of the developer, having quick and reliable access to a collective of streamers and content creators, it's going to do two things. First, it's going to ensure that streamers who apply for a game key, they are not dodgy. They are not going to get the key and sell it somewhere else. In those websites that, as I mentioned, they didn't work for me, I'm not saying that developers should stop using them. I'm still recommending them because those places, they might not be good to reach out to puzzle game creators, but they might still be useful for reaching out to variety streamers and content creators, which should be part of your mix for your game. This is reason number one. The streamers and content creators that we have in the community, they are not suspicious. The second reason, they are going to save time on research. If you are a developer who are making a puzzle video game and you are looking for streamers and content creators to produce content about your game, by joining the community you have access to a list of creators already. You don't have to spend time on this research. We are already doing that for you. Having said that, this doesn't mean that this list is closed and this is what it is and there's nothing else beyond that. Of course there is. There are puzzle video game creators, and then there are other streamers and creators who mostly play puzzle games. There are others who play a bit of a mix. They are variety, and then there are those who are completely variety and they play eventually puzzle video games. And you should consider the whole range. The ones that we are recommending in the community, and they are part of the community, so some of them. So we have a list, but everyone in the list is not already in the community. I hope at some point they join, but not everyone is already in there. We are saving you time, and if this is not a massive help, I don't know what is. Now let me reverse the point of view. If you are a streamer and content creator, by joining the community, you have access to developers who are looking for you. They are looking for people to create content and shout out their games. So what you'll be doing, instead of using these key websites that probably you are either or not using, or if you are using, it's not working because we are small streamers and the puzzle game community is not at the level of these massive streamers who play the most popular AAA games. So what you'll be doing is you'll be skipping the middle management. You'll have access to each other directly. It's my responsibility as a manager of the community to ensure that the video is produced and that the key is not sold. So this is on me, but it is a massive advantage. They are two poles of the same magnet. They are looking for each other. So by joining the community, you don't need to use these websites. And if you are using them, if you are a puzzle video game streamer and you are using this LureKit, Keymailer, terminals, Xsola, and so on, Stash, let me know if it works for you. Let me know, because I want to know what you're doing. Next is the connection between the streamer and the players. So if you're a streamer, one of your interests is to have people to watch you. So this community, what it's doing for you is giving you visibility. Why or how? Well, we have a few things, and we have a few things coming that are not already implemented, but very, very soon will. If you are a streamer, and now I'm specifically talking about streamers, not content creators / YouTubers. I'm talking about those who make video live streaming. We have a bot that will make a notification for everyone in the community when you go live, whether you are on Twitch or on YouTube. A notification that you don't have to do, it's all automatic, will notify everyone that you are going live, and it will say where to find you if you are in one platform or the other, and even it will be notifying which game you will be playing. That's if you have set that on your platform. And we are working on a way to promote those who are making only videos, those creators that are not live streaming. We are working on something that will help them. It's not ready implemented yet, but very, very soon. Another way we have to give you visibility is by having a channel where you can notify in advance not only the players, but you can tag the developers if the developers are in the community about the game you are going to play. But you might say, in 2 days I'm going to be live streaming this and this game by member 1 and member 2. And on the contrary, if you are a player, and I personally have been there, you are looking for puzzle games content, you want to watch another person, you like playing games, but today, for example, you are tired, you don't want to start up the computer and you want to watch TV, you have the Twitch app on your TV or on your phone, you don't want to play a game yourself, but you want to watch someone else, or maybe you have played a game and you already know all of the solutions to the puzzles, but you like this game so much that you want to watch someone else play it. So you'll be becoming part of this community. You'll have access as well to this list of streamers. You don't have to looking aimlessly on Twitch for people who they might tag their stream as deck builder if you like card games, for example. If you're looking for a streamer who plays puzzle games, if you go on YouTube, I'm sorry for you. Good luck with your endeavor. And if you are on Twitch, you have two options. You might look by game, which might be easier. You can search for a game specifically, like say Baba Is You, and you can see at that time who is playing Baba Is You. But if you are looking for a general tag like puzzles or logic games, you have to rely on the streamer adding that tag to the stream. So it's not always a perfect match, because tags are limited, at least for me, to 10, maximum 10. And if I have more than 10 and I'm not tagging a stream with the tag you are looking for, you will not find me. This way, as a player, by becoming part of the community, you have a list of people who entirely or mostly play puzzle games, and if you follow them, you know that you are going to have a good source of entertainment related to puzzle games. Now, if you're a player, what's it to you if you are connecting with developers. So if you are a player, as I mentioned before, I know you've been to Steam, you've looked for games, maybe you've been lucky you found what you were looking for, maybe you are looking for a specific game, but if you are not looking for a specific game, the chances that you find something that it's really what you are interested in, they are not 100. They are not 100%. If you search for general idea, I like these kind of games. So in our case, we are talking about puzzle games. If you go to Steam and you narrow down your search with the tag puzzles, what you'll get is not puzzle games. It's games that have puzzles, which is not the same. So if you go to Steam and you look for games and you use the tag puzzles, you'll get Resident Evil 2. Yes, Resident Evil 2 has puzzles, but it's not a puzzle game. So I see a problem here. This is not working. I'm looking for puzzle games, and you are giving me visual novels. You are giving me walking simulators. You are giving me games that are not really what I am looking for. So this is an issue. So if you are a player and you join the community, you can be certain that the criteria that we use to consider a game a puzzle game or not is very different to what Steam considers. We are a little bit more realistic, or we narrow down a little bit more. So if you are interested in puzzle games, you can be sure that this is what this community is about. And you'll get announcements, you'll get everything revolving puzzle games. This is what you want, this is what you get. Nothing else, nothing extra, nothing that it's not really what you are looking for. On the other hand, if you are a developer, well, what do you get by joining a community that includes puzzle video game players? If it's not clear, I'll tell you, but it should be very, very, very obvious. What you get is a dedicated audience that is your target. You are making a puzzle game. The people who are receiving your message within this community already are a dedicated puzzle audience. You have a few options to reach out to an audience that they already are interested in the type of game that you are making. Maybe not exactly your game, because within the puzzle genre there are subgenres like logic, cards, classic games, escape room, first person. So maybe not everybody in the community is interested in your game, but everyone is interested in puzzle games. So your message is reaching out to a reduced and more condensed, more dedicated audience that is already interested in the type of game that you're making. And this is how I see the relation between each other. But this is just the main advantages of becoming part of this community. We, as I said, and I'll say again, this community is growing fast. They are proposing a lot of things, a lot of interesting things. Some of the things that are not visible, but they are making the community stronger and better, and setting a better framework and more clear, which is not storefront, but it's also nice to have some feedback in any shape or form, as long as it's constructive. But there are many more advantages. I'll say a few, and as I said, this keeps coming in and it's growing, and I hope you can join and be part of the conversation. So the main one is that this is a place for networking. If this is not what lights up your light, I don't know what is. To have a dedicated place for networking between these three collectives is of massive advantage, in my opinion. But not only that, if you are a dev, you can connect with other developers and you can share feedback, you can ask questions. This is not very development related. It can be, but at this point it's more focused on to showing your game to others and bringing your message to the correct recipient. But who knows in the future if this turns out to be something bigger. I mentioned in the beginning that I'm making a Discord, but I was lying. This is not actually one Discord, this is three. Because developers and streamers, they have their own dedicated space for themselves to communicate with each other. So it's actually three Discords. It's the general for all three collectives, and then you have a dedicated space for developers and you have a dedicated space for creators. So it's actually three Discords in one. Developers can talk to developers, streamers and creators can talk to each other, and both of these collectives, they can talk to players and vice versa. On top of that, you have game generalities. We have a system of tags that if you're a developer and you tag your game with the tags that we have set, everyone else, streamers or players who are interested in this genre, let's say you are making a point and click adventure, and I as a player am interested in point and click adventures, I will apply to myself, to my user, a specific role that says I'm interested. Whenever a developer tags a game with this point and click adventure tag, I will receive a notification. I will be pinged, same as a personal mention. Also, you have access to giveaways, and this is available for players, developers and streamers and content creators. It's available to everyone. We also have free game alerts, and it's only for puzzle games. We have the Live Now bot, as I mentioned. If you are a streamer specifically or a player, you can take advantage of. And there's also a list of resources for streamers and content creators, same as what I mentioned for developers. We have started compiling, or I put everything that I know that it could be of help or use for any streamer and content creator, something that makes their work and creation of content a little bit easier, if just a bit. It's compiled, and I'm sure this list will keep growing in time. We have a specific area for streamers and content creators so that they communicate and share things that it's of interest only to them, like, oh, I have this research about YouTube, I have a lots of views, or lately they made a change to the algorithm and I'm not getting any subscriber or follower on Twitch. So these things, they might not be of interest to developers and players, but something that it's very important for this collective, streamers and content creators, they have a specific area for them. We also have a playtest and feedback area, which is not limited to developers and streamers. This is open to everyone, so that developers can post about playtest opportunities. They have a game, they want it playtested, they can make a post and they don't have to fight for an audience, as I said, and they can request feedback as well. So it's everything hopefully helpful. And developers also have a dedicated area for themselves, so they might share some content that's under development, but they don't want to make it openly available to the general public because the game is not announced, or there is a end game area, but they want feedback. So this is more dedicated for them, specific. So the conversation is kept between developers. And finally, as I said, we have a list of resources for developers. This is what I was mentioning at the beginning of the video. That's everything that I was writing on these emails. Now I don't have to write it again and again for every single developer that comes my way. I can send them to the community and they get the list of resources and everything else, everything that's on screen. So as you see, by trying to find a solution to my problems, I found myself solving more than my problems. With this environment that I am setting and this community that I am building with the community is also building the community. They are also contributing to healthy growth of the community itself. By solving my problems, I also found myself giving solutions to things that might be someone else's problems. And I see this Discord community, Discord server / community as a circle that establishes communication between all these three collectives in an advantageous way. So hopefully this is of, if just a little, help for everyone in the community. I'm sure some of you might have some skepticism, some criticism, and I would like to hear it so we can work on this. If this pain point is what's keeping you from joining the community, please let me know, because we will work on solving that issue if it's within the framework that it's been set. And now, having said this is all very beautiful, but it's all theory. Now, what's on practice? How does everything that's on screen right now has been condensed and put into practice? So let me show you, and this is now part 3, the result, where I'll be showing you what's currently, and by currently I'm probably be referring to today. Tomorrow it will be different. Let me show you what the actual server looks like. This part is not for those who are already part of the community, who are already members, because they have access to this information. I don't have to explain. But this is more for those who are watching this video and they might be interested in knowing what's actually inside, what's going on, and they want to check before joining for some reason. So this is if you had a snapshot at the time of recording this video, which is approximately 1 week before it's been published. This is what this community holds. First, we have a moderator and admin area, which is not really relevant to anyone that's not a moderator or administrator, and it's really boring. It's all technical and to keep track of things. We have 2 general areas. One is called welcome, one is called community, and I will be showing what's inside. We have the welcome and community. This is open to everyone. First time you join the server, you'll be landing, or you should be landing, on the welcome area. I will show you in a second what's inside, although you can see here on the expanded. And you have the community, which is the general. It's like the main square where everything's happening. And then you have 2 separated areas. You have the Developers Connect, which is only for developers. You have the Creators Connect, which is only for streamers and content creators. And then you have Creator Opportunities, which is the smallest category in the server. It's only for developers posting about open opportunities for creators to apply or show interest in their games, so that the developer can grant the streamer or content creator a key for the game in return for some content produced. This is the link between these 2 communities. Now let me give you a very quick walk through what's the community. So we have the welcome area, has some introductions where you can say hello and this is me, this is my game. We have people, hey, I did this and I've been working on that. You have the rules, which is the first thing you have to read. Probably should be at the top, but because this is more used, and you go through the rules anyway when you join. And then pick attack is what I mentioned. You can choose here these emojis, these reaction emojis, which are explained down here. For example, the compass is for exploration. If you like puzzle games that are about exploration, for example, the box is Sokoban, of course. So if you like Sokoban games and you'd like to be notified about Sokoban related topics within the server, you click in here and then you apply this tag, this role. It's a special role. You apply this role to your membership, and then when someone tags their announcement as Sokoban, you'll get a notification. You here on the right, you have me, that's myself, the manager at the top, and then you have a category for content creators in orange. Then you have another category, another group for developers, and then we have 4 bots and everyone that's not online. And if you are like Shapura, if you are a player, you are the general public, which doesn't mean you are less. You'll be having your name in blue. So these are the three groups in this community. Because it's at the time of recording the video, it's not entirely open. It's like in beta. We are about 100 members now, and it's on test phase. This video will kickstart the phase in which we start allowing everyone, and the members of the community themselves can invite other people to join the server. This is all welcome, but if you go to the community, which is the largest part, I'll be going through very quickly. You have server announcements, that's important things going on. You have game news. This is specifically for new things, new demo, new trailer, release date, actual game announcement, everything that's new and it's hot and it's already available. It'll be posted here. So it's like a reliable source of game news or puzzle game news. I'm not saying puzzle because it's understood that this is all revolving around puzzle video games. Then you have the general chat. This is a must. Other media where we share something that is related to puzzles, but it's not really a video game, like comics, TV programs, and more. Free games. These are games that are free when they are released, or they were paid and they changed to free. Giveaways. So these are key giveaways. Sometimes the developers, they come to me and they offer extra, and I might do a giveaway when I'm live on stream, or I might share them with the community. Live now, it's the bot. Right now, at the time of recording, we have Jagrid playing Gen 2 Rescue, and we have Fida playing Immortal Defense, but this is everything automatic. Neither of them, they made this announcement. It's the bot that's getting the information from Twitch, and it's Twitch because it's purple. If they were streaming on YouTube, it will be this line on the side. It would be red, and when they finish streaming, they don't have to come here and delete these announcements. So the old streams, they don't keep piling up. It's everything automatic. And we have the playtest area where right now we have How Was Your Day and Chesto. These two developers are looking for playtesters, and playtests come with feedback. So when you get in, like for example, say Chesto, at the top you have the title, and then you have a playtest purpose, where you not only play the game, but if you access the playtest through the server, the developer can give you an idea. Oh, I'm looking for feedback around the visuals or around this specific mechanic, which is the latest thing I've implemented, for example. And then finally, we have the forum. For example, we have someone asking for feedback about the game because they've improved the visuals, for example. And this is in the general, so it's like open. Then we have the two separated because creator opportunities I already explained. This is the substitute of the key website that I was talking about in the beginning of this video. And right now we have an opportunity for MapMap. If you're interested in covering MapMap and you are a streamer or content creator, you have the option to come here and say, hey, I'm interested. You can react to this announcement, or you can make a comment, hey, I'm interested. All the information that you might need is in here. And then for developers and creators, it's more or less the same. We have a special announcement for developers, and a chat, a forum, and the list of resources. And same for creators, we have a specific announcement that are only relevant for creators. We have a normal chat, a regular chat, a classic forum, and another list of resources. And here let me show you very quickly the list of resources for devs. So we have first this Discord server itself is I hope, of great help for anyone who is making a puzzle video game. More importantly, for those who are starting or who are small developers. Not much if it's your second or third game, because you might have been exposed to things that are already listed here. You learned while you were making your first game, and now you're making the second or third, and you already know this. But if you are starting, this is, I would say, it's invaluable to you. Firstly, we have Thinky Games, which are our friends from the website. They do a lot of things. Oh, I said Thinky Games here, but the amount of reach they have, it's very large. So reach out, very important. I think what I mentioned is specifically the database. And then we have a puzzle lover group. We have a list of streamers and content creators. This is what I was mentioning. Not everyone in this list is already a member. I've reached out to most of them. Some are already in, some have been contacted, and I'm waiting for the reply. And some haven't been reached yet, but everything in time will come. We have Review Key website. They didn't work for me, but if you are a developer, this is here for you. It might be of use, because you shouldn't, in my opinion, rely only on puzzle game streamers and content creators for your puzzle game. You should be reaching, in my opinion, to variety streamers as well. This might be helpful to you. We have the Dragneck and Friends grant whenever it happens. So it might not be available right now, but it's something to keep in mind for the future. Some showcases that are recommended for your puzzle game, and then a list of non-puzzle related resources, events, puzzle related but not focused on marketing, and some a little bit more about marketing but not specifically for puzzle games. And then a couple of recommendations of some friends of the No Clue community. And this is what it is. And this is how it looks like today. But as I said, I appreciate infinitely the contribution of the members of this community. We are only, if I could say only, because that's a lot of people, 100 members, that's a lot. I didn't expect to have 100 members in almost 3 weeks. And I'm not sure if I was even expecting to reach that point even in 3 months. But I appreciate everyone who has joined. So this is it. And so we reached the end. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. I had some issues, some problems. I wanted to find a solution. In trying to find a solution, I found myself solving these issues. But at the same time, I think that the idea grew organically and into what it is now. And I have to say, success still has to be proven, because we are 2 collectives so far in the community, and so far it seems to be working. But for what I've shown you on the video, there's a community missing, which is the general public, the players, and we'll have to see how it goes. So success has still to be proven, but I am quite confident about how it's going and how it's looking. Hopefully the publishing of this video marks the point where we open the server to everyone. So if you would like to join, you are welcome. There'll be an invite somewhere in the video description probably, and hopefully you might join because you want to be part of the community, or you might join because you have one issue that I've mentioned throughout the video and you want a solution. You are welcome. You can use the server however it's most helpful to you. This community is here to help you in whichever way you need it. Nothing else from me. I hope you have enjoyed. It might not have been a very entertaining video. It's more like an explanation of the Discord server, but I hope it's of help to someone, and I hope to see you soon, maybe within the server. Until next time, don't be puzzled, and bye bye now.